Yeah, what an icky day. Not complaining, not complaining at all. Very, very thankful for the rain, but on an icky, cold, rainy day, what do? Find something to work on. But I'm gonna try to work inside. I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna most of the day. So while it was raining earlier, of course, we had to do chores in the rain, but while it was raining after chores, I ended up going to Searcy, which is town next door, going to Lowe's. So in doing that, I spent many hours. I had to sit in there and kind of concentrate and figure out how to make things work the way I had them dreamed up in my head. So anyway, went to Lowe's, got all my parts. What am I working on? Trying to finish the greenhouse. Don't lack much, but I just haven't gotten too enthused here lately. Kind of got burnt out on it for a little while, but the end of the year is approaching and I have to be done by the end of the year. So anyway, all I've got to finish right now is the water filtration system. Got to regulate the water, filter the water. I'll eventually end up putting automatic switches on it where it'll automatically water how many ever times a day we want and in whatever zone we want. So you can end up watering in watering in like 6, 7, 8 different rows and time them all differently, have the different amounts of water, different scenarios. Anyway, I'm not doing that right now because my budget is, I think I've spent all I can spend right now. Just material and everything is just skyrocketed. But all that to say, I've come up with all my parts. I ordered some filters. I'm going to show you them. Whether you have a greenhouse, a high tunnel, wanting to filter the water for your house coming out of a well, this right here, I guarantee will work great. I'm kind of like in awe of all this in here. Look at this. Belly button high. But don't be fooled. What you don't see is behind the scenes where it looks like this. Or this. Then you come back a little bit taller, a little bit taller. Oh, it went back down. Oh, wow. And then you get a big area like that back there. Tall all the way around it, except that right there. Gotta figure out what's wrong. But not today. I gotta hurry up and get started or I'm not gonna get through before it gets dark. So what I gotta do, I've got to clean that corner out because that's where I'm gonna build I'm gonna call it the water wall. That's where all my water's coming in at. I'll set it all up. Right here's a picture of kind of how I've laid out without PVC pipe. And of course the filters aren't in there, they're sitting back here behind it. Now I just got to build all that. And I'm going to build it on that piece of plywood. There's the filters. I mean, these dudes had to open them to see what size fittings. Hence how I had to go to Lowe's. So they got, let me set you down. That's a beast. From the fingertips, I don't know. Not good at sizes like that. I mean, that's probably what, 6-inch? Humongous filter. This right here is a sediment filter. I've got a pre-sediment filter. And then we got a carbon filter. Let's try to get them installed today. But first, get this cleaned up. So now I'm going to set in some posts. I'm actually going to set them pretty close to this wall here because all my piping is going to be over here. Don't need nothing back here, it's just going to be wasted space. So I'm gonna set them fairly close. So it's getting dark and getting dark fast. Probably not gonna be able to finish this tonight. Man, I don't like this new time change, but what we got to deal with. So far we've got the pipe run over to the board. I'm putting a T in here for a water spigot, and then after you do that, you need to have you a regulator in line. Cannot have full pressure to the drip irrigation. One thing that you better pay attention to, I just triple checked it, is make sure you got your flow direction going in the right direction your water's going to run. Like I was telling Lane, I want to put unions in here. I'm going to put a few of them throughout, but anywhere there's threaded connections, you're definitely going to want a union on one end or the other. That way, if you've got a leak in those threads or you need to replace this, you don't have to cut PVC. You can just undo your union and pull it out. Okay, we're gonna give this another shot. Praise the Lord, it's a bright sunny day, but it is nearing the end of the day. It's been cloudy, rainy, foggy, dreary, nasty for the last week. So we done what we could. We run out of light to video. We run out of really light to work. We got hungry, we quit. So I'm back at it today. I've got the filter mounts brackets. I've got them mounted up there. I've got bolts all the way through, and then I just put some wood screws in the bottom. While it was dark and not recording, didn't want to bore you with all the glue in here, cutting there, blah, blah, blah. So I went and I put all the pieces together to mount these. So that's what I want to do first, is get these mounted. That way I can see where the rest of the plumbing needs to turn out. These are going to be sitting here. That's where they're going. We're going to get them up here and just get all the PVC coming off of them set next. There they are. They're going to take 4 screws at the top of each one of them, get them set up here. Figure it's kind of self-explanatory, but make sure you pay attention. In, out, in, out. Then we're going to have a pressure gauge. So they send the mounting screws with it to mount the filter to their bracket, but you need to come up with your own bolts, lag bolts, regular bolts, wherever you're mounting this. You may mount it onto a concrete wall. You're going to need different bolts for that. So that's why they, I'm sure, didn't send bolts with it. Now we got to get these threaded in the filter and do like I said. If you're going to put 2 of them in here, put a union in between them, and I'll show you why. Right now I've only got to hold one up. I'm going to get the 4 screws loosely started. Get our drill and suck them in there tight. There we go. Go offset of that one. Beautiful. So now we can join the union together. And that's where I made a boo-boo. Okay, I fixed my mess up there. Get this back on. Come on. I'll say, trying to line everything up. Unions, so needed. And it holds it up there now. Okay. Beautiful. So this last one's got the activated carbon in it. This one's just got a regular kind of filter. I'll show you that in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and take the plastic off this. Make sure it's gonna work right that way, huh? Get it back in there, lined up. This one, oh wait, don't forget. So this one's a 5 micron filter, very, very thick. This will definitely be some clean water out of the well once it's all the way through all this. And that's good because you can drink it. So I know, like I said, using this in a greenhouse, but this is like a home setup right here. Nice and tight. So like I said, we're gonna work backwards. We're gonna get the pre-sediment filter put in here. Had it laying left out here and it's gotten dirty. So not gonna bore you. I'm gonna glue this all together and I'll be right back. Well, that did not last long. Here's happening again. Sun's done went down. And it's not because I'm being a perfectionist, it's just every piece of this is tedious work. You gotta sit there and clean, glue, put it all back together, get all your measurements right so everything will line up. But I got that part done. Next comes out this end. We gotta come down. We're gonna run a bypass line and an extra line that will eventually have the timer and the valves for different zones in here. I'm not gonna do them right now, but I am gonna go ahead and try to get the rest of this plumbed up before it gets dark. So these all come from SimPure, simpurelife.com. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but better safe than sorry, right? I'm gonna get continued to work. And it's dark. I've got in where I'm gonna get into right now. This right here this will kind of be my bypass line. I can run straight to my irrigation. Over here's the future from where I'm gonna put the fertilizer injector and the zone valve, whatchamacallits. We'll definitely do another video on that one, and especially after we get it all up and running. I'm kind of excited for our first growing season in this beast. Thank y'all for watching. Till next time, God bless.